After all the pain and suffering Olimar and the Pikmin have endured, it is now time for the final trial. Hey guys, what's up? Pitmarthrow here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pikmin. In the last episode, we fought two optional bosses that were in the impact site, and we also got this area set up to take on the boss, as he will take pretty much the entire day, and that plus carrying his ship part back to base will almost always be a very, very, very narrow time to make it through. So we gotta do this as quickly as we possibly can, which is why it's impossible to fight the final boss and do the preparation in the same day, and just have the fight last one day. It's completely impossible. So let's go ahead and get started here. Wait for those other two to catch up. So the ideal setup for this is... Let's see if I can get him to go around here. The ideal setup is somewhere around 15 to 25 yellows. I just went with 20 for a safe bet. You know, you'd be fine with 25. You'd probably be fine with 15 as well. Last time I did this I was fine with 15, so... just whatever you want to do on that note is pretty much good. And have the rest of them be reds. You don't need blues for any reason at all in this fight, so don't even bother with them. There is no nectar over here. For the yellows, you're going to want to obviously have them grab all the bomb rocks, and for the reds, you're going to want to get them all be flowers, or as many as you possibly can be flowers. Which hopefully throughout the course of the game you manage to get around, 50 of them already flowers. At least 50 that are currently in your party that are flowers anyway. So you probably won't have that many buds or leaves. You shouldn't anyway. But they do provide some nectar in case you do need to use it, so... I don't have to worry about yellows because they were actually all flowers, which is kind of strange, as the reds were not, but no matter. Get up. Now that we are done with that, let's go ahead and take the yellows and get them all bomb rocks. There are plenty, obviously, in this little arena, there are a set on this side, there's a set in the center, there's a set on the other side, there's also that one set that we used for the preparations as well. So you have plenty of bomb rocks, there's no excuse not to have enough. And it appears we only need about 5 more, give or take, so there should be enough right here. Alright. I only need one of you guys. So I'll set you right here. And what I tend to do here is get these guys into groups of about 20. 17, 18, 19, 20. And we'll put the last set of them over here. Because you're not going to have a lot of time to have the boss be open to damage. So I stick them in groups of 20, because 20 is pretty much the optimal amount you want to use, because that's about how much time you're going to have. Any less than that, you're not going to be doing as much damage as you could be, and any more, and you're going to risk losing a lot, and most of them probably won't get a chance to attack. So, final boss of the game is King Bulblax. At the beginning of the fight, he will typically just do one thing, and that is use the swallow attack, which you will need to use a yellow for. And typically what you're supposed to do is have the yellow use a bomb and throw it in his mouth while he runs away. But I find the easier thing to do is honestly just let him kill the yellow, which I know sounds awful, but, it's the one point in time where yellows actually really have a very, very good use in the entire game. So I typically just let him eat the yellow and spend the rest of my time going back to get the reds to attack him once he's stunned. If you can pull it off and you know how to, which I'm not very good at, but if you can pull it off, then go ahead, but if not, it's not that big a deal. But you do not want to have him swarm, or you don't want to have your Pikmin swarm. You do want to toss them on top of him, primarily like on his upper jaw is the best spot, because if they get under his feet, you know how he does that little jump, kind of whenever he gets out of a stun phase? If there are any Pikmin under him at all, they will die, so do not swarm, toss your Pikmin. And don't try to toss them like really, really fast on the lower part of his chin, because if you do that, then sometimes it will still count as a crush whenever he recovers, and so you gotta watch out for that. Come here. Need one of you. He will not go outside of the ring, which is good, so as long as you keep your reds a fair distance away, and pretty much as long as they're outside of the gate, you're about set, so... I'm not going to toss those last three, because I know that I accidentally grabbed that Bomb Rock Pikmin, and I don't want to mess with that, so... But yeah, as you can see, we've attacked him in 3 rounds, and his health's like a third gone, so... This guy can take quite a bit of a beating. And I'm going to lose a red right here, probably. Yeah, I can see he got under the feet, because I missed the shot, and he started immediately going for the feet, so that's what caused him to die right there. So you might be thinking at first, well, this boss fight's pretty easy, because for the most part, it is at the beginning. It'll get really, really annoying because of one attack that he'll use later on. But at the beginning, he's actually not terrible. If you get the pattern down, he's very, very simple. It's the final boss. We've only lost 7 Pikmin so far, so... And I think probably about now is when he's gonna start to get annoying. I'm gonna disband this group. Whoa! How did he get... I don't remember seeing that guy there, but apparently he was. Okay, that was kind of odd. Is he gonna start trying to do it now? His other attack, which is very annoying. Yep, there it is. After a while, he's going to start jumping around and essentially just trying to crush your Pikmin that way, which is very annoying because a lot of the time you want him to turn around and, you know, do that attack, this one right here, and he won't do it. Instead, he'll just do the other one. And I grabbed a little bit too many than I would have liked, but oh well. Get him a little bit separated out here. You don't have to go with 20 exactly, but I would say no more than 25, no less than 10. If you want to play it really, really safe, 15's a pretty good choice in numbers, but at the same time, it's going to take you more time to get rid of him. So yeah, as you can see, once again, he won't go outside of this gate, so he'll turn around. Typically, when he's like facing you the opposite way, whenever he's facing about 90 degrees, he will try to jump. And he usually will do it multiple times. Whenever his mouth starts drooling like that right there, that's how you know he's about to do that attack. So that is your opportunity to go crazy on him. I'm going to lose a couple right here as well because they're going kind of strange. That guy tripped, so it's his own fault. Okay, right there. Alright. He's actually being pretty cooperative for the most part. I'm kind of surprised. Usually he's a lot more annoying than what he is right now. Probably get him in 2 more rounds, 3 at the most. You see what I said about this boss battle taking an entire day? Yeah, look at the clock right now. We're gonna have enough time, yes, but I'm just saying, he does take a long time to get rid of. Alright, do your jump. Do your other jump. Lure him back around here. Camera, please cooperate with me. Camera, thank you. That ought to do it. That guy got eaten because, once again, tripped. It's not surprising, though. I mean, these guys have been tripping throughout this entire series. And it's always the flowers, too. It hasn't been the buds or the leaves. It's always the flowers that trip. Because the acid, you know. And this ought to do it. Yep, sure enough. There we go. King Bulbulax has been defeated. And I only lost 24. Which, for the final boss, that was pretty good. I wanted to lose less than 30, and I did lose less than 30, so I'm happy with that. So he does drop a couple of 5 pellets, but most importantly, he drops the final part, which is the secret safe, and it's as full as ever. How glad am I that I persisted in my search without losing hope. Now I can leave this planet without any regrets. Maybe I'll even stop and pick up some souvenirs for my wife and kids back on planet Hakate. So as you can well expect, since you need all the other parts to get to this part, this is a part that is not required as well. No, not that. Go help him with that. And we'll take the bomb rocks back. They can't lift it, but oh well. I'll go ahead and put these guys back in the onion and get 2 more on that, because I think it can hold up to a maximum of, or 70 can carry it. Takes 42 carry it, and so hopefully you have enough for that. You should, because the final boss of this game isn't terribly hard. Like, if you're losing more than 50, you probably ought to just reset the day and give it another try. Because he's not that hard. And he was actually pretty cooperative with me. If he's not cooperative, then it can be really, really, really annoying, but he was actually not that bad. What I'm going to be doing here really quickly before they bring this final ship part back, I'm going to cut really quickly right here, and what you guys are going to be seeing are the other 2 endings from this game, which is the bad ending, which is not getting enough ship parts, all the required ship parts, I should say. Not getting all the required ship parts, and then running out of days on day 30, which you don't really have to have happen. I'm just showing that ending. The good ending, which is collecting all the required parts, but not all the non-required ones, so somewhere in between 25 and 29. And then I will cut back to here, and this will show the great ending, which is collecting all the parts. So, I will see you guys in a minute. Alright, so we are back now with the bad ending of Pikmin. For this one, all I did was simply just started up a new file, finished the first day, which means got the engine, because you have to do that at the very least, and then just went to the Forest of Hope, then immediately went to Sunset, and just did that over and over. Got to day 30, and just let Olimar get killed by one of the enemies. Set Olimar's down, and here we are. So, tedious, yes, but did get it done. And clearly that did not go as Olimar had planned. This is a very strange music choice. Whatever. And now Olimar is a Pikmin. Hooray! Yeah, kind of a strange ending, but hey, we'll roll with it. So that is it for the bad ending. Next up is the great ending, and after that, it will be followed by, or the good ending, and then that will be followed by the great ending and the credits. So, coming up next is the good ending. Alright, so now that we have seen the bad ending, let's see the normal ending. This is the day when my life support system fails to come. I've collected only 29 of the 30 ship parts. I have no choice but to attempt to launch the Dolphin into space, incomplete as it is. The ship doesn't need every lost part in order to fly. For better or for worse, I must go. If you're wondering which part I didn't collect, what I did was I had a backup file for the great ending that y'all are about to see, along with the credits and everything. So I used the backup file and just, kept going to the impact site and then going straight to Sunset. You cannot go to Sunset on day 30, so you'll have to wait the day out, or have Olimar lose all his health, which will automatically end the day, so either one works. But in the impact site, there's no enemies that can hurt you, I don't think. Except for Gulix, but he wasn't there today, the Mamuta was. The Mamuta might have been able to hurt me, but I just waited it out, so either way. So the good ending's not, obviously, it's closer to the great ending than the bad ending is, obviously, but, the ship does take off, it does leave. You don't get to see the Pikmin attack that Bulborb in the final trial, which is kind of a shame, because that was pretty awesome. Or it will be, I guess you guys will see that in a minute. It's funny, last time I did this project, I could have sworn I posted the bad ending of Pikmin and the good ending, and yet they just seemed to vanish from my channel whenever I posted them, apparently. But we get the same thing right here as we did last time. I'm not going to go over the final analysis or everything, or all this stuff. This will be going over shortly, so I will see you guys for the great ending and the credits of Pikmin. Be right back. So now that we're back from that little break, we have collected the final part, the secret save, and added it to the Dolphin. I finally recovered every ship part. Now I can return home to Hakate. That statement's not entirely true. You can return home without all the ship parts. But of course you want to try to get the best ending possible. Unless you're a speedrunner and you don't want to go for the great ending. In which case you don't have to, but I'd recommend for the full playing experience, keep trying to get the great ending. I mean, we have plenty of time. We have, what, like 13 days to spare? Or no, we had 12, so really not that bad. Silly Pikmin. And with that, Olimar leaves the very strange planet that he had crashed on, with the Dolphin now complete. As for the Pikmin, they wage war! There were no Bulborbs in the final trial, but alright, we'll roll with it. Anyway, and you'll notice there are other Pikmin onions that show up here as well. Not just red, blue, and yellow, but also green ones, black ones, pink ones. Very strange ones. There are two other types of Pikmin in Pikmin 2, which I'm not going to spoil, even though you guys probably already know from either playing that game or more likely Brawl. So there are other Pikmin types in the second game, as well as the other three that we encountered here. But for those of you that don't want spoilers, I will not give you spoilers. I'll talk more about when I plan to do Pikmin 2, because I do plan to do it. I don't own the game, but I'll talk about like all my upcoming projects and stuff like that whenever we get to the credits here in a second. And here we have our final analysis, also known as final results, and it also gives you your best 5. I haven't played this game a lot, not for the GameCube anyway. Played it for the Wii a couple more times than this. This will show you how many parts you collected and how many days it took. So you can see that's actually my best record on this this file, so that's pretty cool. 30 parts in 17 days. This will show you how many surviving Pikmin you had. The reason that one's probably third is because I didn't sprout as many as I normally do. So, you know, I mean, if you sprout a whole bunch of Pikmin, even if you lose a lot, it's not that bad. And total Pikmin deaths, 57, which is actually good because I said I wanted to try to lose less than 75, and I did in fact lose less than 75. So you can see my third record was just plain awful. That was like the first time I ever played the game ever. And I don't ever remember the 229 loss, but... And then it shows you your total Pikmin ever sprouted, which is 2,776, which really isn't that much, but like I said in this file, you know, I didn't have a lot. And this shows you all the ship parts that you collected. All the ones that are in blue on the far bottom right, the Nova Blaster, Space Float, Massage Machine, UV Lamp, and Secret Safe, those are the non-required parts. If you don't remember this and you're playing through the game and you're trying to think what it is, you can easily look up this list of ship parts online, and it will give you this picture right here, so you know that you don't need it. Just so you know, the Massage Machine and UV Lamp are from the Distant Spring, the Secret Safe is from the Final Trial, Nova Blaster is from the Forest of Hope, and the Space Float, I believe, is from the Forest Naval, because the Bread Bug has it, so... Now we get, one answer options, fun. And with that, the staff credits roll. So, I will put my controller down and begin my somewhat of a rant. Hello, Miyamoto. What are you doing here? Get out. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, anyway, moving on to my thoughts on the game, future projects, so on and so forth. Thoughts on this game. Very, very, very glad I gave this game a chance. I did not think it would be good at all, and I watched Slim Kirby play through it. I was like, it was okay. Later on, I watched somebody else play it. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Chugga Conroy. I do know about the whole Steve joke, so you don't have to go sending that link. I do know about the Steve joke and why it's there, because I did watch that video, because like 5 people sent it to me. I remember watching it for somebody else, and I thought, you know what? This game actually does look pretty decent, because like it kept coming to mind of games I wanted to play that I had not played. And so I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I rented the game, and it's actually really, really good. It's it has a pretty bad learning curve to it, but once you get it down, it's really, really fun. It's even fun whenever you don't know much about it and you're losing a lot of Pikmin. Once you get the technique down, it's actually pretty simple for the most part, but it's still got a very good difficulty on it, so definitely recommend the game, even if a lot of people weren't too excited about this project, which I know they weren't. Still needed to be redone, and definitely glad that I did, in fact, redo it. As for Pikmin 2, which is the sequel to this game, you can expect that project sometime in the future. Not the near future, because 1, I don't own the game, and 2, I've never played the game myself, so I'd want to play it through at least twice before I actually, started on that whole process. But Pikmin 2, if I can find the game and get a couple playthroughs down, you will definitely be expecting to see that later on in the future. As for upcoming projects, we have, I believe the one right after this is actually Mario Party 9. That is the one I promised next. So that is what I will be doing for this one. Here we have a little profile list of all the, wow, whoever's playing there did awful. Of all the enemies right here. Armored Cannon Beetle. This migrant lithopod has developed a stronger carapace than its relatives. Wow, this guy is having real bad luck at getting crushed. Beetle Longlegs, waxy secretions from this creature's distinctive armored shell. But Mario Party 9 will be next. I'm going to be starting with the story mode, the Bread Bug, and then I'll be doing some multiplayer, so on and so forth. Bread Bug, this creature's thick hide protects from most attacks. The Snagrets, the burrowing Snagrets, that's why. They're in alphabetical order, so if you're wondering why Snagrets, that makes sense. It's burrowing Snagret. Blue hue of its feathers distinguishes it from the burrowing Snarrow. But yeah, as for Mario Party 9's schedule, you can stay tuned for that whenever I actually start that project. But that will be the next one. Candy Pop Bud. Could this be a next step in Pikmin evolution? Like the Pikmin themselves, it has many mysteries. This isn't really an enemy, but I guess they had nowhere else to group it, so... whatever. Dwarf Bullbear. A bullbear at the early stage of development in its life cycle. This specimen appears to be nearly fully developed. Okay, whoever's playing right now is doing an awful job. Dwarf Bulborb. Although similar in appearance to Bulborbs, these belong to a totally different species. It's actually true. Hello, Emperor Bulblax. I called him King Bulblax, but Emperor works too. This massive grub dog buries itself when hunting. Those are actually in the Pikmin 2 game, and they're not near as much of a threat, which is kind of funny. Alright, sorry about that. My capture card decided, what an appropriate time to die, like in the middle of a cutscene that I can't stop it in. Isn't that great? Ah, the Puffstool. That guy got taken down so easy in this project. I'm actually very surprised, because I had quite a bit of trouble with him the first time I did this game, but really not that bad this time around. Wow, that guy just, like, practically let his Pikmin get hit by the Puffy Blowhog. Instead of breathing fire, the species uses hydrogen to float. I'm guessing, obviously, the developer was just trying to let them get hurt on purpose, show what it would do. But still. Sheer grubs. Sheer grubs. Males of the species are purple and have an armored head. Yeah, the female ones are harmless. And even worse than the sheer grubs, oh, the sheer wigs. Ambushed so many times by these things. The males of these species are able to fly, but the females remain underground, which hence why you never see them. And here we have the Smoky Prog, I believe is its name. Yes. Which is funny, because whenever I was fighting him, I could not remember. Thought to be a malformed larval Mamuta. I don't know how they made that connection, but they did. So yeah, we'll roll with it. Spotty Bulbear. This rare subspecies of Bulborb has a certain indefatigability. What? This game is designed for children. Don't be using those big words. Spotty Bulborb. This nocturnal hunter feeds mostly on small animals returning to their nests at night. These freaking things. What are these called again? I should know what these are. Water Dumples. Jeez. I could not remember their names fighting them either. This aquatic creature is a close relative of the Bulborb. But yeah, it's essentially just a Bulborb that's in the water. I don't think I ever went over these things. I might have shown them, but these are Wogpoles. They're Wollywogs that are newborn, and they're essentially harmless. There's no point in killing them unless you just want the whatchamacallit from them. Ah, the Wollywogs. This creature's coloration results from remaining sheltered in its cavernous dwelling. Oh, how people usually hate these things. They didn't tend to bother me that much in the project, which is kind of nice. And then the yellow Wollywogs, which I don't think there's any difference. After evolution led to the development of its specialized jumping ability, this amphibian actually lost much of its ability to swim. Well, that's kind of odd, but alright. The happy end. So happy! Yeah. Anyway, the happy end. Pretty good game, I'd say. Definitely enjoyed doing this project. If I could go back to the start menu, that'd be even better. One last thing before I do close this project out completely, which is completely up to you guys. Do you want to see challenge mode at all? I will explain what it is really quickly. It might do that for me here. Not sure. We're about to find out. But yeah, this is just a one-day challenge mode thing. Basically, you just go to one of these areas, Impact Side, Force of Hope, Force Naval, you know, any of these, and you just try to sprout as many Pikmin as you can in one day. That's really all there is to it. I believe the Impact Site is automatic whenever you start the game for challenge mode. You may have to... I'm pretty sure you have to go to these areas to unlock them, but you know, you could just start up a game, go to the Impact Site, leave, and go back to challenge mode. I don't quite know what the challenge mode unlock requirement is, but if you beat the game, you're probably going to get it anyway, so... do you guys want to see this? It's really not that much worth showing. It's essentially just sprouting Pikmin. Most of the time, there's not enemies. I mean, I've only done the Impact Site, but there was no enemies there, up to and including the Pearly Clam Clams. They weren't there. So I really don't feel the need to show this, but if you guys do want to see it, then I will show it off, and that will be just a little extra video if you guys want to see that. So go ahead and leave a comment whether you want to see that or not. But probably not. Really quickly, options, you can check the high scores, the rumble feature, you can turn it on or off, or the sound, you can mess with it, which I didn't really go over, but the main point of Pikmin is obviously the story itself. So that is about it for Pikmin. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Pitmarthroy, and I hope to see you guys for Mario Party 9. Later.